not over. At 7 o'clock this morning, when high tide comes in, rivers are going to flood all over Hillsborough County, not just in the city of Tampa. Now, I want to talk about something a little dirty here, wastewater. In these types of storms with 18 inches of water, that water gets mixed in with the wastewater. And so our wastewater plant usually runs around 180 million gallons. It's about 220 right now. That's the max that it can filter and clean appropriately. They are doing a great job. It's still up and running. We do have power out at about 60 or 70 of the 220 wastewater pumping stations that we have. We have crews through the night that have been going to those locations and with a generator pumping those down, forcing that wastewater out of there. So we should see minimal leakage from wastewater. Our water systems are all good to go. I have not talked to the director of the port yet, Paul Anderson, but I'll get that information as soon as possible, and we'll be able to further brief you on exactly how the city is getting back up on our feet as the sun comes up. Once again, please don't go outside. Definitely don't drive around. Don't go through standing water, and make sure if you see any trees or wires down, call and report those, and we will get them fixed as quickly as we can. We survived through Milton. We can't lose anybody in the aftermath, so please be careful out there. Next, I'm going to bring up Chief Barbara Tripp.
Thank you, Mayor. And once again, as Mayor stated, good morning. Just want to thank all the first responders who have started responding to calls. As the Mayor stated, because of the wind, we had to cease service for a couple of hours. It was very dangerous for first responders to get out there. But during that time, we did make a rescue of where a tree fell onto a home and did head injuries to individuals that were transported to the hospital. As the Mayor stated, we had over 100 calls that came in. We are responding to those calls, and within that time frame, we had a couple of fires that took place within the city of Tampa. Our crews are out there assessing those fires and making sure that there's no other damage to any other structures nearby. Throughout the night, some of the calls that was coming in, like she said, was down power lines, minor medical calls, and a lot of fire alarms. Each one of those calls will be evaluated, and our crews will respond to those calls. Now, we talk about damage assessment. It's that time to let the experts get out and do damage assessment to the areas before you go out. We don't want no one to create any more injuries to be able to pull the first responders into the area to respond. Some of the conditions we won't be able to get to. We still have flooding in certain areas, and once again, we will not be able to get the responders to those areas. Power is out throughout the city of Tampa and many residents. We know a lot of residents have generators. We want you to follow the manufacturer's instructions when you start the generators. It must be in a well-ventilated area. Please do not put it in your garage or inside your home, and do not let the generator get wet. Only plug in the important appliances that you need to plug in for safety, and do not use candles, especially unattended candles. Candles does cause hazards, fires, and once again, we don't want anyone to cause any additional disasters that's going to cause the first responder to respond, and if they cannot get to your location. We want you to be vigilant when it's time to turn your power back on. When TECO give the word that your power, because we do have certain surges that take place and can cause other fire hazards. We want everyone to be safe, and as the Mayor stated, let us get out, do the assessment before you go out and create more damage or injuries or situations where we won't be able to help you. Now I introduce Chief Burkle.
Thank you, Chief Tripp. Our city has endured a lot, and our city is a very resilient city. After preparing for Hurricane Helene and recovering from that, we were preparing for Hurricane Milton. And I want to commend everyone out there that heeded the emergency evacuation order. Definitely saved lives. And as you know, over a dozen police officers had lost their homes, but still came to help the city during Hurricane Milton. As Chief Tripp mentioned, she had a rescue of a house where a tree fell on it. We also had a rescue earlier in the evening last night. We were dispatched to a call where 15 people were in a house where the tree had fell on the house and water was coming in the house. There were children in the house, and we were able to get officers out there safely and rescue 15, including young children, and take them to the Piso Elementary School shelter. We will provide video of that later for everybody to see. That's just one example of the hard work and the great first responder efforts that are out there saving lives. It is imperative that everybody stay inside and do not drive out on the roads. We have hundreds of calls of power lines down, we have trees down, and we are out there actively making the city and the streets safe. So please stay indoors until we give you the all clear. And again, we are in this together. We will be safer together if you heed our warnings and stay in and stay off the road. And next I'll bring up Maribel for our Spanish translation.
Muy buenos días. Le queremos agradecer a los residentes de la ciudad de Tampa su ayuda en mantenerse en sus hogares sanos y seguros. A este momento, el paso del huracán Milton es una cosa del pasado, pero todavía tenemos mucho que hacer para recuperar y recobrar la seguridad de todos nuestros residentes. Por favor, les pedimos en este momento que se mantengan en sus casas, que le den la oportunidad a los rescatistas de primeros auxilios de hacer su labor y asegurarse de que tanto árboles caídos como líneas eléctricas que puedan estar en los suelos son arregladas. Continuaremos brindándoles información durante el día para aquellos que necesitan más información sobre lo que deben hacer. Luego de la tormenta pueden visitar la página de internet tampa.gov/hurricane.